Make it stop. Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of What I Sold on eBay last week. Coffee is the drink of the day. Oh, that's nice. That's real nice. So, I got some statistics to go over here for. I like to mention the numbers every once in a while. Not that I'm trying to like gloat or anything like that, but a lot of people ask, how profitable is this? Like, is it worth your time? Can you make a full-time income off this? Blah blah blah. And so I just wanted to go over some numbers. Obviously, my November and my December were very, very good leading up to Christmas. Everybody's getting, stuff for family and friends and all that. It's just the time where, Q4 is always the time of the year where people spend money. So I had a great November and December. And I was thinking I was going to have a really, really bad January. Because, right after Christmas, I'm talking like Christmas Day, sales just started plummeting compared to what they were coming in before. So I was really worried about having a really, really rough January, but it's been picking up a little bit, and I was looking at the numbers to see how bad it was, respectively. So November, I did $3,611.21. Now this is gross sales, so that's before eBay fees, that's before shipping costs, and the cost of the product to myself, obviously. But gross sales, $3,611.21. December, I did $4,408.88, and so far in January, so it's the 28th. How many days are in January? 31. I knew that. I can never remember that, by the way. I don't know. I'm an idiot. So we've got the rest of today for sales and then a couple more days. So far, I am at $2,798.32. So I'm on pace to break 3,000. Which I was actually surprised to see, considering November I did $3,600, December I did $4,400, $3,000 for January. I'm going to be pretty happy with. So I just wanted to share those numbers. Sorry that chiming going. That's by text messages. Yeah, so that's what's going on with the sales. I've been pretty happy. A lot of that is due to that $250 clock sale that we'll see here in a second, and a lot of what I would call mid. I mean, it is pretty high end, but I consider $50 orders pretty mid tier as of now, just as value wise. And I got a decent amount of those this week. So, anyways, let's get right into it. This neon pink Playboy clock actually went, or not a clock. Yeah, it is a clock. It just doesn't have numbers. I found this at Open Door. I believe I paid $7 for it or something. Yeah, I think it was $7. This actually went out to a viewer, if I can find it. He didn't put a buyer's note, but he did send me a message and said that he was a viewer for a long time and that he collects Playboy stuff. So shout out to Jake. Thank you so much, man. I believe I threw some extra, some Hopa stickers autographed for you. So thank you very much for the business, man. I appreciate it. This sold for $49.99, free shipping. Like I said, I think I picked that up for about $7. So the next sale here went is a Spider. This is not a viewer sale. I was thinking it was for some reason. Spider Victor, just one of my, you guys know I've been selling all, looks like this is a different, I think I had a 14 no, that's not a 14 I don't know, might have been, I had a different barrel on it, and even looks like the feeder there, I had a different one on that. I used to buy a bunch of really cheap, for parts, spiders, and then I would fix them up and get them in working condition and just let my friends borrow them. And I've got a paintball course out on the 40 acres that my family owns. And we just haven't been playing, we didn't play at all for the last year. So I decided to get rid of all my stuff. So anyways, $20 plus shipping on that. Vintage Lamb of God t-shirt. I do really well on all these old band tees, and I seem to find them fairly regularly, more during yard sale season, not so much from thrift stores. And if you do find them at thrift stores, you're usually going to pay at least a few bucks for them, as to opposed to, if I find them at a yard sale, I usually spend 25 cents, 50 cents, something like that, dollar. But anyways, this Lamb of God t-shirt went for $29.99 plus shipping, and this was actually a viewer sale. a few viewer sales this week, and that hardly ever happens. So I want to thank you guys for checking out the eBay stores in the description. So this went out to Dade, D-A-D-E. He said, "Longtime fan, thank you for all the laughs." Dade, I appreciate the businessman. I hope you enjoy your t-shirt. This Jerry Rice jersey, it was really weird. We were sitting down watching football with my girlfriend's parents, and we ended up talking about Jerry Rice. I remember, like, we brought up in discussion Jerry Rice. We're talking about him, and we ended up at a Goodwill the next day, and that was when I found that mountain of manga that I posted on my Instagram account, Instagram.com/HovaFlips. That's HOVAFLIPS. It's an account I made that's solely dedicated to this. If you're interested, the link will be in the description. You can follow that account. Anyways, I posted a picture of that huge manga find that's worth about $800. I paid about $100 for it. That same exact Goodwill, I found this Jerry Rice jersey, and I just thought it was weird that we had just been talking about Jerry Rice. Next day, we're at a Goodwill, find a Jerry Rice jersey, like authentic. I was like, what is happening? So yeah, sold it for $34.99, fast and free shipping. I listed all of my VCRs. I probably had a dozen to 15 VCR/DVD combos. Just on a shelf, just an entire shelf full of them, and I finally got around to testing them all and listing them all, and that's one of the things that brought my January. Now that I think about it, that's one of the things that brought my January sales up so much. Instead of selling that $5, $10, $15 stuff, you know, these VCRs are more in the $20, $30, $50 range, and now that I think about it, I think that's one of the things that attributed to my increase in sales this month. So this DVD VCR combo went for $49.99 plus shipping. And I don't even have the remote for it. If you have the remotes for these things and like a manual, you get a little bit more. All I do is I put an AV cable with it. People make fun of me every time they see one of the yard sale videos and I buy a VCR or a combo like this for $2 or $3. I'm like, what are you doing? Trust me, dudes. $50 plus shipping. Next sale here is Jurassic Park Site B. I had this thing listed since like last June. It was one of the very first things I listed on this new account, and it was sitting there. I think I had it for like $10 or $15 or something like that, so I lowered it to $5.99 and it sold. $5.99 plus shipping. Any of the authentic Jurassic Park figures, if they have the JP logo on them, a lot of times they're worth at least, you know, $5, $6. Some of them are worth quite a bit. I ended up at an estate sale in Kansas City before the championship game last weekend, and it was an estate sale for from what I could tell, it was a former pilot for TWC Airlines, and he flew Boeing 777s, or at least worked on them or something. I couldn't tell, but he had a hat that had I forget what it says now, but it's basically like Air Force One, but it's not Air Force. It's called is it Bishop? No, Shepherd 1. And I did a lot of research on TWA and Boeing and the Shepherd 1 and was trying to figure out what that hat might mean. Apparently, the Shepherd 1 is the equivalent to Air Force One, which flies the president around anywhere he needs to go. Shepherd 1 flies the Pope. So what I gathered is the estate sale I was at, this was a pilot that flew the Boeing 777 Shepherd 1 that flew the Pope around. Which was kind of really cool. So I listed that hat for like $250 because I couldn't even find any evidence that it even existed. Anyways, I bought this mug. I believe it had $16 on it, but it was 50% off day, so we picked it up for $8. This is actually something my girlfriend picked up, and so she did the research and everything. She was like, just trust me, buy it. Because I was like, $8 coffee mug? Are you sure? But sure enough, less than a week later, it has sold $19.99 plus shipping. Beyond Good and Evil, this is that stack of Xbox games that I listed last week that have been selling pretty good. $11.99, free shipping. Voodoo Vince, another one of those Xbox games, $13.99, free shipping. Moving right along, we got a vintage 90s Tool Salival Hands Concert Tour. Double-sided t-shirt, as you can see on the back, those are the Salival Hands. I really like finding shirts like this and then researching them and trying to figure out what tour it's from, what year it's from, and all that stuff. And a lot of times they have really good value. You guys see vintage band t-shirts. If I see a band t-shirt, I always look it up And half the time, if it's at a yard sale and it's like a quarter, I just pick it up regardless. I won't even research it. I'll just go ahead and buy it, research it later. But if I'm at a thrift store, you know, I'll pick it up, research it first. Some of them aren't worth so much. A lot of them are worth quite a bit. So $34.99 plus shipping on the Tool t-shirt. This is the clock, the infamous clock. Found it for $25. They hadn't even put it out on the floor yet. It was in a shopping cart, and I spotted it. And anyways, I bought it. Now, the funny thing is that this clock right here, it even has the month counter, or the day of the month counter along the outside there, you can see. When I was researching this clock, there was one other listed, and they had it listed for $200 free shipping. The one that had sold previous to this was similar, but not the same. It didn't have the counter for the days of the month around it, and it seemed like it was maybe a little bit smaller, and it had sold for $200 free shipping. So I think whoever had this one listed based their price on that. They didn't realize that I think this is kind of like a step up, just a little bit better upgraded clock, same brand and everything like that. They had theirs listed for $200 free shipping. It had like 14 watchers. So I had kept an eye on it. I went ahead and listed mine because I thought that they undervalued theirs, especially at free shipping. It cost like, I think it cost me like $60 to ship this or something like that. Even though that says, no, maybe it was only, I think it was like 40 because I added like 4 pounds of weight after I packed it up. So anyways, $200 free shipping, you know, they only made, you know, 160, 170 bucks. Actually, no, I looked, they accepted an offer. There's a website that you can use to see exactly how much people accepted an offer. They accepted an offer at $170, and then it was free shipping. So they only took home like 140. I listed mine at $250 plus shipping. I was keeping an eye on it. One day I checked, theirs sold. So I was like, okay, cool. Mine's the only one on eBay now. And sure enough, shortly after that, because up until that point, I didn't have any watchers. I was hardly getting any views on it. Theirs sold. A few days later, mine sold for $250 plus shipping. So I could have only taken home $140. Sometimes you gotta, you know, a lot of times I'll look at whatever's listed, and I just price mine a little bit under it because I don't care. You know, I spent $25 on this. If I would have listed it for $150 free shipping and it sold, I still would have made like 75, 80 bucks off of it. But at this time, I was like, you know, I really think that they undervalued it a little bit. I'm gonna play the game here and see if it pays off. And sure enough, it did. You know, I paid $25. I made $250. So that was a really good sale. I actually noticed that this arrived at their residence yesterday, and I sent them a message inquiring about, you know, the condition of the clock. I really wrapped it up really, really well. If you guys haven't watched the last video on this channel, go do so. And I showed the entire process of how I packed this, because obviously there's a lot of glass and moving parts and stuff like that, and I wanted to make sure it arrived in one piece. 1 second, guys. I got a runny nose. All right. So yeah, watch the last video if you're interested more in that clock. Vintage cowboy cattle hat pins. More of these pins that I got from my grandma's new old stock in her basement. Sold them for I don't think I sold them for $25. I think I sold them for $17.50. I accepted an offer on that. $17.50 plus shipping, still pretty decent. A lot of really cool vintage pins there. Another VCR DVD combo, $39.99 plus shipping. No remote, anything, just a little RCA cable, easy peasy. These cubes were actually, they had been sitting in my girlfriend's car for like a month, I think. I bought these. I won them on that auction site on Facebook, because I had sold one of these before fairly quickly that I had gotten for 25 cents, I think, and so I knew that they would sell. They don't sell for the most. It's $7.99 free shipping, so I only made a few bucks on that, but no big deal. I've got one more listed if anybody's interested. I was upset. I tested this Magnavox VCR combo that I got, and it wasn't working, and I was pretty disappointed because I had the remote, and I knew that if I have the remote, you know, the price of the VCR goes up significantly. And then I looked up the remote by itself, and it was worth $35. So I was like, okay, that makes me feel better about the fact that the VCR is not working. So I listed the remote by itself, and it sold for $34.99 free shipping. Speaking of VCRs, hey, look, guys, another VCR. This isn't even a DVD combo. This is just a Panasonic 4-head VCR, $29.99 plus $11.95 shipping. I'll take that all day. VCR money for days. Sega Dreamcast, I got a box full of video game consoles. One of them was a Dreamcast. There was 2 of these Rumble packs. I decided to lot everything up except for the 2 Rumble packs and sell those separately because I noticed they had a decent amount of individual value. And it sold for $13.99, free shipping. Peterbilt pen. Okay, so this one, we're not gonna, I'm gonna do this a little different. So, one of these Peterbilt, this is all one order. I was sitting there working and all of a sudden my phone went crazy with notifications for sales. This guy ordered $116.79 worth of vintage pins plus shipping. So let's go over it real quick. He got 1 Peterbilt pin. He got 5 vintage Schliz 6-pack pins. He got 4 vintage Old Milwaukee 6-pack pins. He got 5 vintage Coors Light 18-wheeler pins. He got 3 vintage Coors Light can pins. He got 1 police pin, 1 of the different design police pin, and 1 of the Who. Again, that order came to a total of $116.79, and then he paid like $38 in shipping. So I had to refund a fair chunk of that. And yeah, but that was a very good sale. You know, over $100 in vintage pins. That was awesome. I was really happy to see that. So next sale is another one of the Halo 3 UNSC wallets, canvas billfold, officially licensed. I picked these guys up from somebody that I knew who sells stuff in town. He was having a yard sale, trying to get rid of some of his stuff. This stuff he used to own a flea market, and he had a cabinet full of these. And I had bought 1 or 2 for myself previously just to have because I thought they were cool. He had them out there, so I knew he'd probably give me a deal on them because he's literally had these for years, and I knew that. I bought 10 of them for $10. I've sold 3 of them for $9.99 a piece with shipping on top. So already made my money back and profited $20. I still have 7, so pretty good buy from him. In fact, I think I'm going to try to contact him and buy the rest. I think he's got at least another 10 or 20 of them. So Thomas the Tank Engine says good night. I bought this because I thought it was cool. It's like a denim. First of all, I noticed it was made in 1990, and then it's like denim. It's like jean fabric that they made into a children's book, and I just thought it was like unique. It was on like a quarter table at a yard sale. I picked it up, thought it might be worth tons of money at the time because I was like brand new into this, and you know, it wasn't. Sold for $5 though, plus shipping. So, you know, I made profit, but I laugh when stuff like this sells because I'm like, I wouldn't even buy that today, you know, probably. I don't know. Once yard sale season comes around, again, it's different. When you see stuff for a quarter, you know, you're like, why not take a chance? Just throw it in this pile of other stuff that I have, make a group deal on it. I might not have even paid a quarter by the time I wheeled and dealed on the whole lot of stuff that I bought. So, you know, it is what it is. But this year I'm definitely going to be a lot more strategic with my purchases. This SNK Guerrilla War NES cartridge sold for $9.99, free shipping. Not sure when or where or how much for I acquired that. This hat, I listed it and it sold the next day, I believe. I bought an entire box full. Literally, there was like it looked like there had been a rat's nest in it at one point. It was gross. I think I paid, I mean, it was a massive box though. I think I paid $10 for this entire box full of hats because they were trying to sell them individually. I was like, I'll take them all right now for $10. And she was like, all right. I literally had to throw away more than half. I think I threw away about 3/4 of what was in this box, and there had to have been hundreds. I probably ended up with 100 good hats that I could actually list. Like a lot of them were just falling apart or completely stained and disgusting. I just threw all that away, saved the good ones, and I still had about 100 good hats to list. As you can see, this one's in really good shape. Listed it for $29. What I've noticed, I don't know the significance of this eagle. I don't know if that's a brand of some. I really don't know. But if you guys see vintage snapback hats, if they have a big patch like this, whether that be Pepsi or Coca-Cola or a trucking company or anything name brand that you recognize, if it's a big patch like this, pick it up. Even this eagle, which I'm not even sure if that might just be like a design. It might not even be a brand or a company. I'm not sure. But what I've noticed is any vintage snapback trucker hats that have a big patch like this are worth pretty good money. So be on the lookout for those. Bolo. But anyways, it sold $29.99 free shipping. So I'm super happy with that. I've been selling a lot of those hats. And in fact, I sold another one that will come up here on in a second. What do you know, guys? I've sold 2 vintage Kansas City Chiefs sweaters this week. Kind of weird, huh? I actually accepted an offer. No, I sent out an offer for $37.99 on this, and they accepted. I had it listed for $50. I had a feeling, with the hype this week that the offer would be accepted, and sure enough, it was. So I was happy to sell that. $37.99 plus shipping on top. I probably paid, $1 or $2 for it. This Carhartt hat is actually new with tags. It was another one of the hats that was in that box, and it's really cool. The sides actually flip down, and on the inside is like really nice, like flannel or whatever you call that. So pretty cool, unique hat. I had never even seen anything like that, and I knew with Carhartt, it would probably sell. And sure enough, it sold within like 24 hours, $29.99 free shipping. That box full of hats for $10, man, it has been doing me well. Like I said, I had to throw away so many hats, but then everything that was in good enough condition to keep, I cleaned them up a little bit. I threw them into a giant tote with an entire box full of fabric. What do you call those? Fabric sheets, fabric softener sheets. Yeah, whatever those are. I threw an entire box of those in there, and I put the lid on the tote, and I let it sit for about 3 months, literally, because they smelled bad. They came out relatively clean. Like I said, I cleaned them up. I threw the dryer sheets in there, freshened them up and everything. As you can see, I got them in pretty good shape. Threw away all the bad ones, and yeah, they've been doing me really well. So, Star Wars Lego games here on OG Xbox sold for $9.99 plus shipping, and then we got Focus on Family Adventures and Odyssey lot. These are audio cassettes. The Odyssey, you guys remember these cartoons probably. I recognize this dude at least. I don't know. I found these at a yard sale a while back, and who knows? I think I got these from Salvation Army for like $1 a piece, and sold them for $27.99 free shipping. Here is the other vintage Kansas City Chiefs sweater that I sold. This one sold full price, $49.99. I actually got a message from this guy. This isn't a viewer sale, but I got a message from this guy, and he was like asking if I could ship it priority and as fast as possible. So he's like trying to get it by Super Bowl, I could tell, And I was like, yeah, no problem, I'll ship it priority. And he was like, I'll pay you extra to ship it priority. I was like, no, don't worry about it, just buy it. I'll ship it priority, and I'll get it shipped out first thing this morning. And that's what I did. I shipped it out first thing this morning. $49.99 free shipping. I think shipping only costs like $6 or $7. So again, probably paid a couple bucks for that. So again, pretty good week. Sales have been up. I'm really hoping that these next few days, the last few days of January, I go pretty hard and break $3,000 in sales for the month of January. And then, I think I've mentioned this before. I think my stretch goal, or my goal, just my goal, I think my goal for 2020 is to do $45,000 in sales. And so far, if I can do 3,000 in January, that's not on par to hit that number. I'm gonna have to pick my numbers up a little bit. But again, it is January. That's what everybody's like, man, I already spent all my money in December, and everybody kind of slows down. People are about to start getting their tax returns, and then just the regular year will start commencing. And then if I have, the main thing is I'm gonna go way harder in Q4. December and November, I am going to. The thing is, I did. What's that come out to? I did $3,600 and $4,400. I did $8,000 in sales in Q4 just from November and December last year, and I basically wasn't listing anything. Obviously yard sale season had kind of dried up and everything. I wasn't going to thrift stores or anything much at the time because late October. The new Call of Duty came out, and I spent all my time just streaming that, which was fun, and I enjoyed it and everything. But I think this year I'm just gonna hunker down. I'll still probably play the new Call of Duty and stream it and stuff like that. But I'm gonna try to put a lot more attention on eBay and actually list in those 2 months. And I think if I did $8,000 without really listing anything, I think if I'm actually actively listing on a daily basis, because you sell more on eBay, the more you list, the more you sell. That's just something with the algorithm, and it just obviously the more stuff you have, the better. You know, if I did 8,000 not listing, hopefully I can break 10 or do even better in November and December of 2020. So anyways, that's my goal, 45,000 for 2020. Let's see if we can do it. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching these videos. I hope you guys are enjoying the other videos. Right now, my strategy is basically keep doing what I sold on eBay every Tuesday, and then through the week, I'm going to try to do 2 more videos. I'll try to do a video, you know, since this goes up on Tuesdays, you know, I'll try to have a video go up on maybe Thursday or Friday, and then another video like Sunday. And it just me kind of vlogging, you know, showing you guys what I do on a day-to-day as far as packing orders and listing items and just cool stuff that I come across along the way. Once yard sale season starts back up, I'm going to be using the spy camera and my nice vlog camera here to get footage of me actually going to garage sales and yard sales and auctions and stuff like that. And I'm excited. I'm excited for 2020. I think it's going to be fun. I've been really enjoying all the comments that you guys have been leaving, and you know, seeing the views and the likes and just all the positivity around it. You guys are really enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna stop talking now. This is gonna be a long video. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Let's get let's see here. Let's tie-dye rat tail. Comment that down below if you actually watched to the very end of the video. I just want to see how many people actually watched to the end of this really long video. Tie-dye rat tail. I don't know what that means. Just put it down there. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.